What's going on, you guys? It's your huggable hipster here, and welcome back to the channel. Sometimes I don't know how to properly introduce a topic, so we're just going to dive straight into it. In Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, Elden Ring, and Bloodborne, we have our character creators. We know them, we love them, we embrace them. You ever noticed how in certain Souls-likes or in certain games where we don't have a heavy-duty character creator, they're following a narrative of an already pre-built character? It's not vague, it's not something of where you can insert your own personality into. But for the most part, you are held to a strict criteria of what kind of character you are playing as. In Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, Bloodborne, and Elden Ring, that's not there. It's a ghost. It's vague. You are playing as a ghost character in which you have to insert your own meaning, your own interpretations, even your own stories, kind of like how Dungeons and Dragons works. This is what I wanted to discuss today. I wanted to discuss the ghost character. I wanted to discuss the character that isn't pre-built, that isn't already there for you just to add a few, maybe accentuating looks or a few cosmetics to. It is the character that is built from the soul up. In Dark Souls, they have this option of where you literally could have no stats. You're starting from the ground up. You are a tabula rasa. You are this blank slate that could acquire a piece of bread and slap bosses across the face with. You could do that. You could be a knight. You could be a sorcerer. You could have a quality build. You can do so many different things. In Elden Ring, I think there is the most variance on how to approach your character. Bloodborne kind of borders the line between a fixed character and so many options. The ghost characters, the ones that you have to build from the ground up, are some of the most important ones in gaming. Whenever it comes to how the character is created, I feel like, again, much like Dungeons and Dragons, there is so much potential and there are so many different things that you can do to create the character that you most enjoy going with along the journey in Elden Ring or in Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, and Bloodborne. Dare I say it, even Demon Souls. Demon Souls, I even though I finished the game, I didn't spend too much time with it after the fact. Demon Souls to me has such a linear story. I think it's probably one of the most linear stories in all of Souls. You have a very strict objective when you're going into the game, and while yes, you can go and do other side quests and stuff, it's more strict than, say, Dark Souls 2, for example, where you don't really have to focus on the main storyline just yet. You can go off and do different quest lines, do different adventures. I would say the strictest storyline in terms of a Souls game is Demon Souls, then Dark Souls 1, then 3, and then 2. Dark Souls 2 story was more kind of loosey-goosey in a sense of where it was more vague, it was more philosophical. Dark Souls 3, I feel like, was just an homage to Dark Souls 1 and continued off that story more so. But when it comes to the characters, I feel like the vagueness and how you put your own meaning and interpretation into them, I feel like that was really heavy in Dark Souls 2. Having a ghost character, having a vague character that isn't really attached meaning to, like in Lies of P, for example, is absolutely brilliant. Do I like characters that have already predetermined stories and outlines? Yeah, of course I do. But I feel like a story like Elden Ring, for example, you are becoming Elden Lord. I remember when that game came out, everyone was sharing the fact that I am Elden Lord. I became Elden Lord. I did the thing. I became Elden Lord. Like, there are so many Elden Lords now that it's beautiful to see. And it's beautiful to see that those ghost characters that we just take as a baseline and we create them and we fill them with a soul. We fill them with hope. We fill them with a desire, and we kind of personify them to a degree. Again, I say these ghost characters are brilliant in Souls-like games. We are personifying and attaching meaning to pieces of code and pixel on a screen. I feel like it is so incredibly beautiful that those pieces of code and pixel have story. They have a meaning, they have a soul. And that's really cool. Like that, I think that's probably one of the best things about gaming, is that we create our own story through these characters. That's why when I see characters immediately in the character creator that have heavy duty amounts of personalization, it makes me filled with glee. It makes me so happy. That's why I loved Cyberpunk 2077. You are in a sense as well playing a ghost character. You're playing a character that you are filling with soul, you're filling with love, you're filling with meaning, and I love that so much. This took a turn that I did not expect, but this is why I love doing these videos, because sometimes like it just takes these kinds of turns. I don't script out these videos. These are just born from an idea. If it's a lore video or a theory crafting video, then there's a little bit of scripting. But when it comes to discussion videos like this, I feel like sometimes it's better not to script it, or if I do plan on scripting it, I do very, very little like kind of bullet point notes. I enjoy making this kind of content. I enjoy just freeballing it with you guys and just discussing these types of ideas ideas and concepts within the Souls and Souls-like franchise. Let me know your ideas. What do you think of the ghost character? What do you think of character creation within Souls and Souls-like games? I would love to know your thoughts. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys like my face and what I do, please be sure to subscribe and hit that bell down below. May you find your worth in the waking world, dear hunter. Stay casually nerdy, and I will see you all in the next video. Umbasa.